the Special Representative of the Secretary General for Disaster Risk Reduction, the Chairperson of the AU Commission, heads of regional economic communities, my colleague ministers responsible for disaster and risk reduction, heads of delegation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me much pleasure to officially welcome you to the high-level meeting of ministers responsible for disaster risk reduction that is being held here today in Nairobi, the Republic of Kenya. I want to say at the onset that our country is honored to host this key meeting. It is important to note that the theme for both the just concluded 8th session of the African Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction and today's 7th high-level meeting of ministers responsible for disaster risk reduction is towards disaster risk-informed development for a resilient Africa in a COVID-19 transformed world. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this meeting will consider for adoption the outcomes of the 8th session of the Africa Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction. It is therefore our duty to ensure that we keenly look at the document put before us, understand its content, and query areas that we think may have gaps or may not be very clear in meaning. On my own behalf and on behalf of the government of the Republic of Kenya, I wish to welcome you to Nairobi and ask you to enjoy your stay. Secondly, I wish to state our commitment, the commitment of our government, the commitment of the President of the Republic of Kenya towards working with all the institutions represented here today to make our contribution towards enhancing the capacity and the strength of our region, beginning from the IGAD region to the AU and to the entire of our continent towards risk preparedness in the context in which we find ourselves. In conclusion, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as ministers responsible for disaster risk reduction, let us all put the theme of our meeting in the back of our minds as we work on development matters. Notwithstanding the impact of COVID-19, let us forge ahead to ensure effective risk preparedness in the future of our world. Many other challenges that we face, including climate change, require that we intensify and increase our preparedness to deal with risks that are emerging in our environment. Further to this, let us strive to implement the 4 priorities of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, the 7 targets of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, as well as the African Union Programme for Action for implementation of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. Once again, welcome to Nairobi. Thank you for your participation, and I thank you all. Excellencies, colleague ministers, heads of delegations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Republic of Kenya, I am humbled to accept our election to the presidency of the Africa Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction. It's a great honor to our country, and I want to thank you, my colleagues, and all of you, my brothers and sisters from the region and the continent, for according us an opportunity to sit on the chair of the Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Management. On my own behalf and on behalf of our government, I'd like to pledge our commitment to do our part to ensure that this platform advances the cause of ensuring our preparation to reduce disaster and its risks within the region. We will focus on the decisions that have been made before, the resolutions and the declarations from Sendai and from the previous meetings, and ensure that we provide all our support towards disaster risk reduction on the continent. Thank you, all of us, for the faith you have shown in our country, and we wish you all the best. Thank you.